Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Binding of Isaac, Repentance, where today I'm recording on my lunch break, so we are going to do something that is going to cost a limited amount of time, which is doing the chest as Azazel, which is among the simpler tasks to do in this game, I suppose, as this character is intensely powerful and is very capable of clearing the chest without a build, so this is called a freebie because I'm recording this on the day this video is scheduled to come out for me, so it's one of them weeks. But we're gonna do our best to have a good time with this. I'm not exactly sure if there's a particular build I'm hoping for because, again, Azazel is among one of the better characters in the game, I would say. I used that two of spades immediately just for the sake of having some keys available. Feel like that's probably going to work out in my benefit in the long run. I guess for the most part I wouldn't mind getting some health somewhere along the line, but realistically I just want to make it to the end and then call it a day, go back to work for one more day, and then finally enjoy a week off where I do not have to worry about things for a while and actually just have an overall chilled time with life. So I for one am looking forward to that. I'm not sure where the secret room is, but I'm having a hunch that it's probably underneath the shop, but it might be above it as well because this is the basement and the basement is silly. But fortunately this time the game decided to play nice. There's a couple shopkeepers here. I wouldn't mind getting that dream catcher, but it's definitely not guaranteed. And never mind. That works for me. That is a free dream catcher for me, and that does make it a little bit more tempting to go towards the downpour and stuff like that. Duke of Flies is one of the easier bosses as this character as well because the brimstone just deals oh so much damage. So no worries there. And I guess I might as well go for angel rooms. I don't really have a preference, I suppose, in this particular event, but it doesn't matter too much. Whatever direction we're going, it's going to be fine. There is Tech 10 waiting for me. Or the Leech. Tech 10 is interesting, so I'm just going to go with that. Curious how it works with this character. I don't know if it really... I think I just lose my brimstone effectively, so it might arguably be a little bit worse than using the brimstone. But simultaneously, I do kind of like having range, and this does give you range. It's still definitely not a bad build. It is a little bit more like just playing a regular Isaac character, I suppose, which I can kind of appreciate. Although I do feel like Tech 10 is dealing a little bit more damage right now than I feel like it ordinarily does. Maybe that's just the fact that I've gotten it so early in the run that it feels a little bit stronger than usual. But it definitely seems like enemies are dying rather quickly. Also, we are just rushing through life right now, which I can kind of appreciate. And I'm a little tempted to just do Mother. I haven't done that as this character yet. And it is also a thing that wouldn't take too long, so it would make the run a little bit more interesting, I suppose, although I do still need to do the chest with this character at some point. And I am taking a reasonably large amount of damage right now, so perhaps I shouldn't do anything that requires me to have like a certain amount of focus available. Rainmaker is definitely not a difficult boss when your build is the way it is. Range up doesn't really do that much for me, but I'll take it, I suppose. And if we can get a key in our secret room, that would be lovely. I think it can realistically only be here, so at least we can enter our shop with the 0 keys we currently have. That is at least something, I suppose. And I'll take the key, I guess. I could take Converter. I guess. I don't really need it, I suppose. But it does make Devil Deals more tempting that way, I guess, as well. Yeah, I'll just take Converter. Maybe I'll change my mind as we move along. It doesn't really matter, I suppose, if I have or have not have Converter. That's the sentence right there. But if the Devil Deal was still open, I'd definitely consider it, because it does make it a little bit more interesting. That is a follower, or alternatively, it is Punching Bag. I'm not really interested in Punching Bag. Followers are fun. I do like having conjoined with Tech 10 because there's a lot of lasers that you're shooting at that stage. But I don't know. Might actually just try to go for Planetarium a little bit more than ordinarily, I suppose, since might as well, I guess. We have 4 coins, so the shop is well, becoming a little tempting, I suppose, especially since we are going to be running through various floors anyway. Kind of still want to go for that key. Might go for the boss here as well, depending on who it is in the mirror dimension, since I don't need to play particularly quickly. Although we haven't done Hush yet either. That's actually a little tempting. This is not a difficult boss with this build either, so I do kind of appreciate that. Azazel's flight is just so capable of dealing with a lot of these things anyway. Alright, so we didn't get an angel room. Didn't really try to increase my angel room chance either, which I guess is on me, but fair enough, I suppose. But I actually wouldn't mind just getting Hush out of the way, thinking about it. I have done Delirium with this character, so yeah, I think the path of just going from Hush to the chest might actually be a pretty tempting path right now that I'm willing to take. Not sure where my secret room is. There's a lot of places where it isn't. With the thin room there as well, it is going to be a little awkward, but there's a decent chance it's over here. Not there. In that case, there's a decent chance it's over here, maybe? Like there? No? Alright. Am I missing something? I don't think I am. Because it cannot be to the left over here, because this room has a hole over on this side. It cannot be below the item room, because it's thin. So likely it could, I guess, theoretically be there? No. God, this is a good way to spend a large quantity of bombs at least. That one was kind of hoping for a super secret room, I suppose, but oh, I guess I haven't tried this one, have I? Yeah, there you go. Okay. That is a bunch of extra coins, which does make the shop a little bit more tempting, as my current money situation does allow me to buy basically whatever with that 50% off. That is a black candle. That is pretty much worth it in every single run in the game, with maybe the exception of Tainted Isaac, so I'll take that. And yeah, I'm just gonna go for Hush. So let's just keep going the regular direction. Probably should have just stuck to the caves, actually, thinking about it, since with the Dreamcatcher we're gonna have 2 items all the time anyway. Kind of tempted to skip this item room as well, just because that item just isn't very interesting. And I just kind of want to try and get a planetarium, I guess. I do want to play around with those a little bit more from time to time in runs that aren't just going to the beast, even though it is definitely the easiest type of run to go for a planetarium for sure, for a multitude of reasons. But when you're playing Azazel, when you get Tech 10 in the basement, you might as well try to play it a little bit more silly and have a little bit more fun with it as well, because why not? There's always fun to be had during times like these when you can fly around and have a very powerful build, so might as well skip an item or two and try to make the best of it. So kind of surprised my secret room wasn't there, but fair enough, I suppose. Nothing that can be done about that. I don't think it can be next to the curse room, because I'm fairly sure... Yeah, it definitely cannot be over there, but I guess it could be... Technically speaking, it could be on this side. Oh yeah, definitely could be on this side. Especially with the room layout the way it is. There you go. That is a free curse room. That's an extra shopkeeper we can blow up for some coins and angel room chance. There's a soul heart waiting for us right there. Coins and such, all good things indeed. Very nice. A shop. We don't really have the coins for a shop right now, but it's not like we're running particularly low. Agreed, fair enough. That's one way to not have to worry about your money situation when you're entering a shop. On the one hand, I actually wouldn't mind going for devil deals just for the sake of trying to get Guppy's Paw. Because, well, I have to get a school bag as well, but if you get school bag plus Guppy's Paw and converter, you're effectively invulnerable, because with how the converter works now, as it costs less health to make red hearts, you can basically just become invulnerable with that combination of things, so wouldn't mind trying to go for that. It is a little bit unlikely, especially since that shop had greed in it, but that's fair enough. We might not have seen this boss much, at least. He might have shown up in the boss rush, I guess, but it is one of those bosses we unlocked fairly recently. Not the most scary boss in the world by any means, but you do gotta watch out for those flaming bombs he occasionally throws. But with a character like this, you can get away with most of anything. Surprised that 80% devil deal chance wasn't good enough. Also should have explored the floor a little bit more, I suppose. Because if there was a planetarium there, then we definitely would have missed it. But yeah, fair enough. There is an item in my item room, which is kind of good. Because it will give us more tier rate if we take damage, I believe. For the remainder of that room, I want to say. So I kind of want to get that because just being able to shoot those big circles does end up dealing a little bit more damage with how Tech 10 works these days. Used to be that you could just shoot a whole bunch of tiny rings and they would all deal max damage, but unfortunately for Repentance they did change that to make the bigger rings also deal more damage. And as such it has become a little bit less good of an item, but still definitely not an item that is bad by any means, just worse than it once was. Which is the case for a variety of items in Repentance anyway, so it is the way it is. But I'd still say that this is such a viable item for most builds for sure. Having said that, I'm a little tempted to skip it just for the planetarium. But simultaneously, we're only going to have one more floor from this point on where we could get a planetarium unless we get a trinket that allows us to get planetariums in the womb. And quite frankly, I haven't, to my knowledge, seen a trinket yet. There was the matchstick, I suppose, that I've seen so far. And I could have gotten that one. But that's really the only trinket I've seen. And yeah, that does make it a little bit less tempting to hope for a planetarium trinket when there's still all the other trinkets in the game that are left to be found, I suppose. So unlikely that I'm going to be going for that this time around. So instead of that, let us just simply grab the really nice item. Just call it a day. Once we find the item room, that is still a tricky little predicament. Also, I've been told that on the map, blue swords mean challenge room that don't contain bosses, and red ones are the ones that do contain bosses. Somehow I never made that connection. And it is nice when things like that get pointed out to me, because I will just walk to the challenge room every single time for the rest of my life. Even potentially noticing that the icon is different and just doing nothing with that information. So, yeah. Even I learn every single aspect about this game while I'm playing it. Even the most little things that may seem very obvious to anyone. Truthfully, I don't know what anything does in this game. I'm just running around getting lucky builds and then making a whole video series about how lucky I am instead. That's also a way you can play this game for sure. That is a compass, which I don't mind. Might as well, better than nothing. We're not going to get Curse of the whatever, so that's actually pretty nice. Hematemesis. I didn't bomb this yet, I don't think. And I'm a little tempted not to take that Eternal Heart, just because I wouldn't mind. I guess with the Eternal Heart, it might be a little bit easier to try to get the half a heart. But I kind of wouldn't mind just having 0 hearts in general, especially when we're going to the chest. The Polaroid is so good when you can actually use it. But we do still need to get a devil deal for that first. Oh, we did find a trinket in the end. Faded Polaroid as well. We could technically go to the beast with this. But I guess I'd rather have this. Even though the Faded Polaroid in a lot of instances is really nice to have when trying to go for the beast, because it means you can just keep your Polaroid or negative and use that instead to open the door. That's not what we're doing today. We're going to Hush in the chest after all, so we don't need to worry about such things. Instead, look at that. War got stuck in the corner. I wonder if we wait long enough, the fight will just end. Because he might kind of be unreachable where he is now for certain builds, but I'm not going to wait for that. Let's just move on. That is Holy Light, which I like. That is a lot of extra damage, I think, even with Tech 10 these days, so that is lovely. And on we go. I wouldn't mind... That's the Miter, that's not bad either. Wouldn't mind, yeah, having a thought, finishing a thought at some point as well. Using the Fool card, I guess, to steal from the boss rush, because we got plenty of time before we are going to reach the boss rush. Holy Light is indeed working in conjunction with the Tech 10, so that is working out as well. Right now, mostly just looking for that one skull with the thing. on it so I can get that full card for free. More or less. I have to use one bomb, I suppose. But still reasonably attainable. Wouldn't have minded a blue map somewhere during this as well. God, that holy light is actually appearing a lot. Like, way more than I had anticipated. And I have zero problems with this. I'm just very surprised by the whole ordeal, because that is very powerful. As these things are just crawling through the entire room anyway. So it does make life a lot easier that way, and I can kind of appreciate that. Coin. Not too excited about coin. I think we already did Delirium as this character as well, so I don't need to worry about that. That is Solo Lilith, so that's just a free follower. Got a meat cube and a bandage ball. That's an unusual combination for sure. But interesting to see nonetheless. Pretty happy. I've never even had the thought that this would be a possible combination, but I guess you have the potato peeler and stuff like that as well, where you could technically do stuff like that with. I just never really thought about it until now. And I guess the monster manual can effectively do the same thing also, I have to assume. But still, I still think it's neat. I just think it's neat. That's really just the main conclusion to that little story right there. That is a bomb beggar and a heart beggar. I do kind of want to play with the heart beggar a little bit. Actually, I'll just do that now while I'm still at full red heart. Wouldn't mind just getting to 0 red hearts right there. Unfortunately, losing out stat ups when we leave the room, I do believe, but still not overly dissatisfied by having that item in general. Not sure where my secret room is, because I'm pretty sure I checked this wall already when I was over here. I'm just going to try it one more time just in case. Yeah, I did. And even if I didn't, I did now, so yeah, fair enough. There is the skull with the X on it, so that's good. Definitely want to visit my shop, but I also want to visit my secret room. But we'll get to that when we get to that. There is only so many places. Well, there's actually quite a lot of places where it could be, I suppose. One of which is these, I think. Yeah, it is. Very good. I, for some reason, can see this is Yera, which I feel like should be blocked by the mod, but fair enough. I'll take that with me to the chest, I suppose. But first, let's do a little steal from the boss rush. And then I'll come back for that Yera rune. And then we can simply mosey on ahead to the remainder of this run. There is no tinted rock here for as far as I can tell. And yeah, really the Holy Light Tech 10 is a build. That's really all you need. The fact that we have flight as well is just really nice because we are Azazel. So that also makes life significantly less complicated in the end. A little bit more tier 8 because I took a hit there, but not the end of the world. And I do still need to visit my shop as well, thinking about it. It was indeed up. Polaroid. That is a part of the conjoined transformation, but not one I'm particularly interested in. Especially since we currently have 0 parts of the conjoined transformation, so I'm not super excited about that. That is not part of the conjoined transformation. That's Betrayal, Forever Alone. Yeah, none of these are really that exciting. I'm a little bit bored of the converter, so I'm just going to take Flush instead. Maybe we'll be able to use it against the boss somewhere along the line. That could be pretty fun. That's really the only thing I have in mind right now regarding that. If Little Loki was part of the conjoined transformation, I'd be a little bit more heartbroken by that because we did, of course, have the door close to the devil deal, so we wouldn't be able to get that other part again, but yeah. Ended up working out. Let's just do this for a second. I use that Polaroid to just give a little bit more health to this creature. Hopefully get something nice out of it. There we go. That is indeed something nice. Speed up. Another speed up. Just a really good time all around. And there is the other greed. What fun. At least there is still the Hush Shop incoming, so I guess that's kind of nice. If we had money equals power, I'd be pretty happy with that as well. But as it stands, I'm just gonna go on ahead and see if I can flush an enemy somewhere along the line. We are facing a relatively easy boss. I do not know where my secret room is, and I have more or less 0 bombs, so that concerns me a little. Luck down.
I found
That is a little unfortunate. I do like having luck with a build that uses Holy Shot after all, but I still feel like that Holy Shot is proccing significantly more often than I'm expecting it to, so I'm not overly bothered by it, I suppose. I'm not sure if I should even try to look for my secret room or just go for it. I am running on a time limit after all, and I wouldn't mind to just play it as cool as possible, I guess. I would like to get a little bit more health before we go into the Hush fight, I suppose, but that's really my only concern at this present moment. I do feel like we're going to get there in time at the pace we are currently playing, so I'm pretty happy about that. And I feel like we can go either way with this particular floor here. Although, feeling a little bit more confident about this just because the cursed room is one room down and the other direction was one room up instead. And hopefully that is going to end up working out. I'm just gonna play this safe. Did get a soul heart, 2 soul hearts for the price of 1. I can appreciate that. There's definitely the possibility of a secret room near here, but I don't think I can really spend the bombs on that right now. Plus I wouldn't be able to blow up the shopkeeper here anyway. So I'd argue that it's probably not going to be worth it. And I will simply just move on. Could definitely look for some more bombs in this floor, but I'm not bothered. This run seems to be not too difficult, which was to be expected, I suppose, when starting an Azazel run. But you never know with this game. That is the credit card, which is not bad. Hierophant, I'll just use that. Joker card. Joker. Yeah, I'll take that. I kind of just want to get my health lower. So I wouldn't mind that. I'll just use the other Hierophant. Credit card I'm not too interested in. Let's just keep going. Yara is still just very, very good in the chest. But if we can get one Devil Deal to open here, because we technically didn't have the door open on the previous floor, so our Devil Deal chances are pretty high. We might be able to get to 0 red hearts and have that Polaroid available for shenanigans, and I would enjoy that quite immensely. There is a Demon Beggar waiting for us in our arcade room, so if we pick up a heart somewhere, we can play with that for a while. Plus we can bring back our Polaroid as well, which is obviously rather nice. And if we can just get like one secret room somewhere, that would be kind of helpful as well, but I'm not overly expecting it. Could probably be here. I actually don't hate that. I'm going to try that because the room layout seemed nice, but unfortunately it was just not to be. This is a little tedious, but definitely not something Tech 10 cannot handle. As you can see, the moment that Holy Shot comes out as well, it is destroying the entire NV boss fight right there, so no worries at all. I don't think I've tried this one yet, have I? I just wouldn't mind blowing up one more shopkeeper, since we've already lost once on an 80% chance of a door opening, but what are the odds of that happening twice, am I right? That's ridiculous. The odds of that would be astronomically low, I'm sure of it, but let's just in case. Let's just blow it up for fun. Get a couple spiders in there, maybe get like a magic mushroom or something. Nah, fair enough I suppose. Could look for a coin beggar or battery beggar on this floor as well. Definitely a possibility in my super secret room, but I have run out of bombs unfortunately, so it is what it is. Could try to blow you up there. I was kind of expecting the super secret room to be over here, but I think it might be in the room below instead. Definitely not guaranteed either way. I'm actually just gonna look around for a little bit longer this time. 2 bombs. That's exactly what I wanted. Very good. And there it is. For a troll bomb. Not exactly what I was looking for, but still we managed to find a room at least, and I can kind of appreciate that much. Tech 10, once again, pretty good for this fight as well if you're just standing on the left side of the room, because the eyes cannot turn around quick enough to actually fire at you. And before you know it, this fight is going to be over. No Devil Deal. With an 85% chance that time around, so fair enough, I guess. I'm not too bothered by it. What do we got? We got, I think that's Dr. Fetus, and we have something or another. Not exactly sure what that was. A little tempted by Dr. Fetus just because I'm not 100% sure how that would work with my current items, and I'm a little curious, but that's really the only thing. I think it wouldn't be that interesting of a combination at the end of the day, and that's what I'm a little concerned about. It's more just going to be bomb-based. Sister Maggie, I'm not really that interested in either. Yeah, I don't know. I actually don't know. Wouldn't mind Magic Fingers, actually. That's pretty good. Yeah, that is pretty good, since I have a large quantity of money available. So that does make this item significantly more worthwhile. Yeah, just gonna go like this. Don't need to make things too complicated from time to time. Sometimes you just gotta go. And that's exactly what we're doing here. Just sit on the edge of the room, shoot to the right, occasionally move slightly. But that is going to be the first phase of this Hush fight. No worries at all. Tech 10 is amazing. Holy Light is amazing. Everything is wonderful. Very good. Second phase of the Hush fight with Polaroid, definitely not as worrying as with the negative. Even though you do not get that damage up, you do get a large quantity of extra defense with that shield, especially when you can actually use it. So it is nice that our build is ready for that. Plus we're doing pretty reasonable damage to Hush right now as well, so definitely not too concerned by my current situation. We can just keep this up for approximately a minute or so. We can say we're done and not have to worry about a thing. Tech 10 also dealing very easily with all the enemies that Hush can spawn simply because it just goes through everything, so definitely not worried. Actually not too dissatisfied that we have a range option, like a long range option with this character right now while fighting Hush, because being close to Hush can definitely be a problem, and not having to be close to Hush is definitely a way to simplify this fight a lot. The fact that we have 2 orbitals right now as well is making me feel pretty happy, because it does make life a little safer with these many tiers that are getting shot. And with the large quantity of coins that we have, I can also just remove any enemy that manages to come close in some way. Still don't like his tier attacks though, so we'll play it as safe as I can. I do like that he's a little bit further in the middle of the room, because it does make this a little bit safer. Struggling a bit to see where I'm supposed to stand, unfortunately, right now, but hopefully we'll be okay. Our health is still pretty damn high. I think there was a soul heart in the shop as well, so we can just replenish that. Plus the Dreamcatcher is going to heal us up a little bit as well after this. But I am taking a pretty decent amount of hits during this fight, unfortunately. But oh well. Slowly but surely we're managing. And at least I'm having a good time. I hope y'all are having a good time as well. Occasionally it's nice to just play as Azazel from time to time. Just not make things too complicated. This is many tiers. There's actually a really large amount of tiers that are currently being shot all over the place. And yet, I'm still not overly concerned. I don't like that he's shooting in multiple directions, though. I would like if he just stuck to one. Makes life a lot easier if I can just stand in one place for the remainder of the fight, I suppose. What do we get for this? Maw of the Void. Another item that unfortunately is not what it once was. But not terrible. It's just not amazing anymore. It used to be incredible. It's really more the thing, and now it's a damage. It's a way of dealing damage, and it's definitely effective against most things. But it used to just give you large quantities of health, and it unfortunately does not do that anymore, so definitely not what it once was. But still, on occasion, it can be worth taking. If you have like a particularly terrible build, it is a way of dealing some damage to some enemies. Kind of surprised I got hit by that, but fair enough, I suppose. Unfortunately, still haven't seen any tinted rocks during this run. Might have definitely missed a couple, but I do feel like I've been looking out for them at least a little bit. But simultaneously, when you're playing a little rushed, it can be easy to miss out on enemies from time to time as well. So we'll just use that as an excuse that my work is getting in the way. This is just wonderful, I suppose. 2 soul hearts from the first attempt to open this chest. Getting a key back pretty much every time I try to open it. Unfortunately, that was it, but still getting 2 soul hearts out of one of those chests is definitely nothing to scoff at, so not too dissatisfied by how that ended up going. This is a little worrying, but with flight, this enemy is definitely not as terrifying as without flight, I suppose. So not too worried. Similarly with this, I can just hang out over this rock and not have to worry about a thing. I have 20 keys, so I might as well enter this room, whatever it may be. There's a pretty decent odds that it's not really going to be anything, I suppose, but at 3 could be interesting if those hearts change into something interesting, but not too tempted to walk all the way back there for some bombs and some coins, even though I am missing some coins, so having more coins would make my active item a little bit more usable, but simultaneously, I feel like I'm not going to have to worry about my whole coin situation for a while. And as such, I will not worry about my coin situation for a while. Instead, let's try to look for a secret room, which is not there, and that is, oh yeah, we don't need to look for secret rooms because they're going to open up by themselves. So that does make life a little bit easier as well. This is a big floor. Looking at how we're traversing through here right now, there's a lot of walking going on. Mr. Dolly is a wonderful tears up. And I believe the thing that allows us to increase our tear rate when we take damage, I think that still goes above the cap. I want to say, I'm not sure how accurate that is, but we're probably going to find out somewhere in this run, as I have been practicing with taking damage a couple times throughout this run as well, so I'm sure it will happen again. Let's just get rid of all those skeletons with one use of our active item and deal with the horse at the very end. If I shoot this properly, it's a little bit too slow to catch up with the horse, unfortunately, but it could probably be pretty good. That is a large quantity of pills. Not sure what this is. Not even the fun voice where he says tears down. Not even... ah, jeez. Shot speed up, I don't care for that too much. Gulp? Well, nice to know that Gulp is in the pill pool at the almost last floor of the run, but unfortunately ended up not quite working out with eating 5 trinkets. However, I think that trinket over there wasn't too terrible, so I guess I will just go back for that. Some coins in there, which I'm not too interested in. Yeah, this isn't... it's better than nothing, I suppose. But in our adventure of trying to gulp 5 of those pills, we are not making much progress, unfortunately, but that's the way it is. You can only go so fast with that. You just need to be lucky, really, to have that happen at the end of the day. You can definitely try to go for it a little bit more actively by taking the placebo every chance you can get, really. And just using that on every pill you find and hoping that it's a gulp pill. Because I do believe you can use the placebo to use those gulp pills 5 times and it still would count towards unlocking the marbles and also the challenge related to that. But at the end of the day, still need to get that pill in your pill pool, still need to actually get placebo as well, so definitely not guaranteed. Could try to go for more pill-based items, I guess, as well, like the pill baggie and stuff like that. But that's not really in my system, I suppose. Could definitely go for it. We've already beaten Delirium as this character once, and we haven't beaten the chest yet, so let's just stay on the path. Onwards to the Blue Baby. The Satanic Bible is in the basement, which is not terrible. It's a little bit more fiddly to use these days, but not terrible by any means. And let's see if we can make this build a little bit more silly. Not too excited by this. Not sure if Explosivo even works, but I guess we're about to find out. Let's just use this once for a map. Now we know exactly where we need to go. Yeah, I'm just gonna go like this, I guess. Might as well take Lazarus's rags. It's not immediately terrible. It's just not that interesting. I might as well actually just use my active item to clear out most of these rooms to make it go a little bit quicker. I could try and look for 4 more gulp pills, but I just don't feel like the odds are in my favor on that one. But as you can see, this active item is pretty capable of clearing out regular enemies at least. And Explosivo does seem to be working with what we currently have, so that's good. Might make life a little bit more dangerous, but at the end of the day, might as well make it a little bit more exciting. We're in the chest. I am still trying to bomb secret rooms, even though they are going to open up by their own accord, so I really don't need to, but it is very easy for me to forget every single aspect about every build I've ever had. And I will forget about that for the remainder of my life, almost certainly. I don't really want the experimental treatment right now. I'd rather have the Polaroid, and I think there's a chance that I might get like a red health container and ruin my day with that, so I'd rather not bother. It's an unusual sight for me to say no to that, but it does happen from time to time. Let's see if we can change some of these hearts into something useful. Half a red heart. Very good. Not sure what I was expecting, I guess, but I was hoping for something a little bit better at the end of the day. If I still had flush, I could have just killed these enemies by flushing them, and it would have been really fun. But unfortunately, fun was not allowed this day. 46 coins remaining. Might as well keep those for the blue baby fight to make life even slightly easier on myself. No 5 or 4 gold pills in my super secret room, unfortunately, so much for that. And so much for saving those coins for the blue baby fight. Let's just do this for a bit. Let's just actually save a couple more coins in case he ends up spawning some flies that are too difficult to deal with our current build. And that is that. I'm gonna say it's unlikely that we're going to find anything more to do in this run, but I will just quickly meander through the remainder of this floor, I suppose. That is a lot of bombs. I would like to at least see the remainder of this floor, see if this ruins my day. It's definitely better, actually. It was all in all just exclusively better. It did not give me a red heart. It gave me a red heart container, but not exactly what I was too worried about. So fair enough, I suppose. Ace of Diamonds is a little tempting. If only because well, I can do this with it, but also having more money would be kind of nice, I suppose, for our active item. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter at this stage, does it? At this point, I'm just having a good time with our little Tech 10 and all sorts of other things build, and just having some fun. Just having some fun at the end of a run. That is allowed from time to time. I said I was on a time limit, but seeing how quick all this went, might as well expand this for a little bit longer. Don't particularly need 2 bombs. Maybe if we find like a way to open up the Mega Satan door, I'll just end up doing Mega Satan as well, and that could be pretty neat. It's unlikely, I suppose. I tried to kill that boss in the right order, so we could maybe get a get out of jail free card from that sloth, but ended up not happening. Definitely not guaranteed, but it is a way to open up the door at the end of the day. There is 2 runes waiting for me, and I don't know which one they are. I think they are the same rune when they drop, but not 100% sure. Getting health every time I take damage, which is reasonable. Full mapping. We already have full mapping effectively, so that didn't really add much, I suppose. Might as well use this emergency contact as well, since I never really use it on bosses that much. And I am a little bit impressed by how long it does hang on to that boss, I suppose. We managed to kill one of them before the other one got free. So that's pretty nice. We finally got Stitches! Wow. That's an item that I just have not seen on this save file, pretty much. But now, we can teleport between me and Stitches. What fun. Yeah, genuinely surprised how little Stitches has shown up, but yeah, fair enough. I guess I might as well use Teleport 2.0. There's 2 guppy, well, not 2 guppy pieces, 2 Devil Deal items. Might as well take both. I know there is at least another battery somewhere on this floor, right? Did I remember that wrong? I might have. That's okay. I think it would have just taken me to the Devil Deal anyway because of how the chest works, so I guess that's fine, but I wouldn't have minded just to make sure, you know. I guess the other battery was on the previous floor or something like that. Either way, it's an Azazel run. You're gonna get what you're gonna get. It's not too complicated with this character. We got Abaddon in the basement, which is alright. It's an alright item. And, where is he? We got a couple more things done. That just leaves, Mother and Greedier mode, I think. So we're making some pretty decent progress on almost completing 2 characters, I guess, yeah. Really just need to do Mother and Greedier, and then that's that. But then I've been saying that about Isaac for a while, and we still haven't done that, so maybe I should get around to doing that at some point. Either way, I hope y'all enjoyed it. Next time we play, we'll do another run with another character. And I hope to see y'all there. Bye-bye.